So I've been driving around and listening to the radio station and reading my emails and reading the blogs and reading the letters to the editor. In the last 36 hours since this Tyrone Willingham thing broke that he's coming back, I've heard a few of the radio hosts here at the station, and everybody's got a different viewpoint, and it's what makes the world go round, and it's fine. But I got to tell you, I just have to stop and say a few things. Either I am naive or I am just misguided, because I never thought I thought all along, because you've told me all along that he would probably be retained. And as you know, my feeling is I wouldn't retain him at the expense of losing Mora, but outside of Mora, I would retain him. I'd give him a fourth shot, even though I think he's done a lousy job. I don't think there's any question that he's done a lousy job. And I thought the debate was going to be, once we got to this point, was, okay, we all agree that the first 3 years have been lousy. Now, does he deserve a fourth year because of the extenuating circumstances of the program? And does he deserve another shot because of, what's going on around the program and continuity? And I thought that was going to be the debate. Okay, I guess I'm naive. I thought that was going to be the debate, and everybody would have an opinion. Yeah, he should be retained for these reasons. No, they should fire him for these. I thought that's what it was all going to be about. I didn't realize, and call me naive, that I was going to sit around 36 hours after this thing and actually listen to a chunk of Husky fans, a huge chunk of Husky fans, actually try to convince me that the first 3 years of the Tyrone Willingham administration has been a success.
I know.
I got to tell you, I have been driving around listening to this stuff. Hosts on the station, callers of the station, Husky fans. I am in absolute disbelief how many different people have tried to fool themselves into believing that a team that is won less games than Stanford has won less games in the Pac-10 than Stanford. 3 years ago, when Tyrone Willingham took over this program, if you would have polled experts, college football experts around the country, and the question would have been this: what is the worst BCS program in America? Where is it the most difficult to win BCS games of any BCS conference team in America? I'm not sure Stanford would have won that, but they would have been in the conversation 3 years ago. And 3 years later, Washington has won less Pac-10 games than Stanford. They have finished last, second to last, and last. And I'm sitting around for 36 hours listening to caller after caller, some of the hosts. I'm listening to people try to literally rationalize, the air of the program. It's not important how many games he wins. It's not important how many bowls they haven't gone to. It's not important that he can't make halftime adjustments or he gets outcoached in games. It's not important that they're disorganized at the end of games. It's not important that 5 guys are playing zone and 6 guys are blitzing in the last game, the most important play in the Apple Cup. It's not important that they're eliminated mathematically from going to a bowl game 3 games to go in the season. No, it's not important that what's important is that there's an air about the program now. He's brought discipline. The kids are enjoying the college experience. I'm sitting back here listening to this and listening to all these Husky fans, and this is what I've been thinking. And you tell me whether I'm wrong on this. Could you imagine if football fans from Auburn, or football fans from Alabama, or football fans from Florida State or Miami or Ohio State or Michigan or Penn State were eavesdropping on the last 36 hours of this radio station?
They'd want to vomit.
Can you? What would hardcore football fans from these prestigious football programs, what would they be saying if they were listening to guys one after the other call a radio station and claim that the head coach has done a good job, not because they finished they finished last, dead last, and second to last, and last in their conference. He's brought discipline. He's brought people. You should see Mitch. I got a call yesterday on my voicemail. You should see how many people are volunteering to work out in the off-season workout program. Mitch. It's not about the fact that they're disorganized at the end of games. He has to call timeouts before critical 2-point conversions, and he can't get plays off. It's not about the fact that they're losing 48-41 to a lowly Arizona team at home and giving up 700 yards. There's something, the program is thriving, Mitch, because there's just there's this improved air about, do you realize what people, Washington fans would be the laughing stock of the country if people heard this around the country. If real football fans heard this, heard the chatter that's been on this radio station. I've told you this before. I believe that Tyrone Willingham in a private moment would tell you he's done a lousy job over the last 3 years. I can't believe we're debating that there's literally a chunk of Husky Nation that believe for alternative cockamamie reasons that Tyrone Willingham at 6-20 in the conference and worse than Stanford by 2 games in that year has done a good job. And I know that sometimes we talk about sports fans in Chicago, sports fans in Philadelphia, sports fans in New York, sports fans in Boston. And I'm not suggesting to you that because Philadelphia sports fans boo Santa Claus or Chicago sports fans throw batteries at guys, that's necessarily a better sports fan than Seattle sports fan. But I gotta say this morning, Sam Meyer, how about getting a little to the group, and you know who you are, of Washington fans who are actually rationalizing what's happened over the 3 years as a good performance, finding these, as I say, cockamamie ways to claim that he's done a good job over the 3 years. Could you get a little red ass in you? Just a little bit? I mean, stop being pansies. Stop being wussies. I hate to sound like Dan Hawkins of the University of Colorado. This is a football team. He's a football coach. Stop coming up with these alternative ways to try to rationalize that the guy has done a good job over 3 years because of these vague kind of positives about the program. It makes Washington football fans, it makes the fans of the University of Washington sound like wussies. Toughen up. Demand some excellence from a win-loss perspective. How many times over the last 2 days have you heard somebody call this station, or even a host on this station, say the wins and losses are not that important over the last 3 years? You're looking at the wrong thing, Sandmeyer. You're looking at the wrong thing. How many times have you heard that? How many emails have you written?
Way too many.
It's pathetic.
It is.
Toughen up.